Man, this air is garbage. Too old to be jumping. I guess it is time for me to take a shower. First time this week. Hit me. Oh, yeah. Fresco. Right in the back. Oh. Dirty dog. Damn, all white cars. Excuse me, all white vehicles. Nobody makes cars in America anymore. Nobody buys cars in America. Even though I'm driving a car. The guy told me, nobody buys station wagons. And I was the guy asking about a station wagon. Nobody buys mini trucks, and I'm a guy looking for a mini truck. And when my little silver fox goes out, I'll be the man looking for a sedan, and they'll say nobody buys sedans. And I was like, it's tough buying a car when you're nobody. I will not be putting any of my heart and soul into this workout today. I'm just trying to figure out why they didn't just tear the whole fucking thing down. What was the genius behind gutting this thing? I was just being a cheap asshole. Big, beautiful Aminol. The dog's not too bad either. No, you only missed your shoulder workout on Monday. Okay. I wouldn't say I missed it. Oh, the gag. I said last week, oh, I won't do this again. 2 hours to do shoulders and chest. And tonight, that's what I'm going to be doing. Shoulders and chest. I've been eating a lot, so it means that the pull-ups are going to be harder to do. So my favorite kind of pull-ups to do are the kind with the hand grip. They got a little hand grip thing on there. I was experimenting with it when they first put it in there, and I was like, I kind of like doing pull-ups like this. Like, I feel like a jungle cat. The hardest pull-ups for me to do are the stupid ones where the wide grip pull-up handles. Oh, I hate doing those. Feels like I'm about to dislocate something. Probably need to stop doing them. Do some research and find out they don't even benefit anything. I'll drop those suckers in a heartbeat. Hit me. Right in the legs. No, it's just weird to see that stone sitting out in the middle of nowhere. It's pumice. Volcanic stone. Nowhere near native to Texas. So you had to pay a pretty penny to have somebody put that on a truck and haul it out here and dump it up there in the front yard. If I was an asshole, I would take like a little rock hammer and chip off a piece and have myself a nice little emery board. Yeah, I knew they were going to paint it. Give it a neutral color. One that might reduce the cooling bills. reflective white paint. That's an interesting choice. They put two air conditioning units in there. A 1 ton and a 2.5 ton. Went with Carrier too. Like me. Why did I get Carrier? I don't know. I just figured that you get what you pay for. So I just figured if I paid for a top brand, that's what I'd be getting. The dude was telling me that Bryant, Payne, and Carrier are all the same company. It's just there's a different quantity. They're the Bryant's their mid-range product, Payne is the low end, and then Carrier is the flagship. So I won't Carrier. The reason I keep doing that stuff is because I spent my whole life watching my dad buy substandard and secondhand stuff, and then watched all the pain and misfortune that he would have trying to keep that stuff maintained. And I said, that won't be me. If I can afford top dollar, I'll get top dollar every time. If I can't afford top dollar, I'll get sensible middle. Like I said, I'll get reliable middle. But I don't buy cheap. I spent a whole lifetime paying for cheap. Cheap's expensive. You know, you do your homework. Like, I would never buy a Google Pixel anything. Because you're overpaying for Google's experimental model. They put a shitload of RAM in there, and they put a shitload of everything else in there, and they have to because the stuff they put on there is experimental. The only way a Pixel pays for itself is if you can keep it for a long period of time. Like, in theory, if a Pixel would be future-proof, except for the fact that something comes out that says, you know, that hardware that you put all in there, well, we're going in a completely different direction, so it's pointless to have it. Yeah, this cheap thing, man, it broke on me. It's a great light as far as the battery, it's just a poor design as far as the latches. My third light for these. Everything on here is worn out. I looked at the harness, the plastic piece that holds the that holds the cap nut on place. It's broke. It's all busted up. The plastic bracket, it split off. Like, the GoPro is expensive. Where they make the money are the accessories. They make these accessories that don't last more than a year or two. I've had headbands break on me. Once a year I have to buy something. Battery doors have long since gone out on the GoPro, so I don't even buy them anymore. So I got my battery exposed to the element, which doesn't matter because the battery goes out every year and a half. Although I gotta say, the current brand that I'm using, what's the name of it? Oh, what's the name of these stupid? Anyway, they're pretty good at holding a charge. The Wasabi battery sucked, but this one I got now is pretty good. Now I'm having a problem with the memory card, I think. Might be going out. Well, they don't pay me for the endorsement, so I'm not going to tell people, hey, this is the battery I bought. I got the Hero 3. And I put it through the ringer. So far it doesn't look like it's going to go out anytime soon, but there are little problems here and there. Without the waterproof case, it does wear out a little bit faster. Thing I hate about the waterproof case, the damn thing's heavy. Like, it's only technically a few ounces, but when you're putting that on your head and rotating it around, it's a few more inches, a few more ounces on your neck. Plus, it's just big and bulky. I'm almost wishing they had like a latex condom version or something. I could just kind of slip it on and it would protect me from general weather elements instead of the dive housing that I have to use. All right. No, I'm starting to realize I can do a lot of things like this exercise routine because I'm single and child free. And I just can't afford. I can't afford to get my own place close by. I can get my own place. I just don't want to be driving an hour and 30 minutes to work. Yeah, I hate driving. I especially hate doing it during the day. There's too many people in the city right now. Like yesterday, it was a trip, man. I go out there and the dealership, and there was a line. In all the years I've been going to the dealership to get my car fixed, I've never had a line that long. I mean, you can look at my videos. Last year it was me and another guy. That was it. This year, man, they had 4 or 5 people waiting out there. And being crabby and demanding things, and I was just like, here we go. But the cool thing was I set an appointment out, and the amount of money I paid, they made sure to get my car in and out there as fast as they could. Yesterday was crazy. He calls me up and says, hey, we got to do an alignment on it. I was like, of course you got to do an alignment. Well, that's going to be an extra charge. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that to begin with? Whatever, just do it. I knew they were going to need an alignment. They were changing out the bushings and the tire rods. Especially for the gyro wires, you got to do an alignment. Believe me, I tried cutting corners one time doing that with Bessie, and she never quite steered right. Plus, when she drifted to the left. I mean, they put those new bushings in, and they put the tire rod in there. I was like, man, the car was like, dum, 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 dum. I was hitting potholes and stuff. I didn't feel nothing. Controls were smooth. And I did the injection cleaning, and I thought that was just some rip-off, but I actually got a lot more acceleration. It accelerates and it responds like it did when I first bought it. Now, granted, when I first bought it, the car already had 50,000 miles on it, which is barely broken in for a Honda. In the 12 years I've had that car, I have only put another 60,000 miles on it, 60,000 miles on it. I was like, in that 12 years, I averaged about 1,000 miles a year. That's how little I drive, because I fucking hate driving. I hate it with an all, like I said, now here's the rub. I didn't mind when I got paid to do it. When I was a delivery driver, that was kind of cool. I'd drive around the city. I'd load my van up, and I didn't have to hear my boss's mouth. After that, I was a free man. Occasionally, that dickbag would call me. Well, this is why we got you that cell phone. I need to be able to talk to you. And I was like, Sam just got on my nerves. I'd be out there and he'd ask me some stupid thing, and I was like, Sam, I already took care of it. He's like, are you already done? I was like, yeah. Oh, well, okay. And the problem was that Sam was used to doing all that stuff on his own, and then he got sick, and then they had me handling stuff. Okay. No, that makes sense. They should have just put a chain around it, though. I guess the rebar was just easier. This was my home, man. That's the only thing I miss about high school. It wasn't the social stuff. I kind of missed the football a little bit, but as I get older, I realized that I was lucky not to have played a lot. I got brain damage, but at least it ain't as bad as some of those dudes that are out there doing it all the time. And but I miss the smells. I miss the peace and quiet. My high school experience was peace and quiet. I don't know how many guys were like that. My high school experience was I'd find a little room. Basically, it was the weight room. I'd go in that weight room and I'd pump some iron, and then I'd clean up the weight room. And it was very, 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 very cathartic. All that ting and angst and all that thing everyone else goes through, that all melted away in the weight room for me. And I miss that. And you can't get that at a fucking commercial gym. You just can't. I go in there. I go in a commercial gym and it's always like a crime scene. I have to figure out why somebody did the dumb thing they did and reconcile it. I go in there and they got an exercise ball, step up ladders, kettlebells everywhere, like 5 chairs. And then someone's got a bar loaded up with like six 10-pound weights. I was like, you couldn't just put a 45 on there and a 10 and a 5? No. They were doing drop sets. Oh. The geniuses. Some guy on YouTube puts a video up there, said this is the ultimate way you gotta work out, and you follow it, and you inconvenience everyone else in the gym just to get your workout in. Diagonal cut, diagonal cut. Geometry. I never even thought about doing this. It was a good idea. Diagonal cut. Because the hypotenuse is shorter than the two sides there. Why is it shorter? It's always the square root of the squares of the two legs. I think I remember somewhere there was a theorem. I don't think it's a proven law yet, but I think it's a law. Not a law, but it's got a proof that the hypotenuse is shorter than the two legs. In other words, the square root of the sum is always less than if it was just the sum. Something like that. My math brain is dying too. Well, the bottom line is, you want to take a shortcut, take the diagonal, don't take the two legs. Case in point. Okay, so you've got what's the name of that? It's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And a 45, 45, 90 triangle, both legs are equal. The length of both legs are equal. So, the hypotenuse of that triangle is not 2, it's the square root of 2. And the square root of 2 is 1.41, I think it's 1.41285 something. It's an irrational number that goes on for perpetuity. But anyway, 1.41 is less than 2. You get a 30, 60, 90 triangle, which is usually in the ratio of 1 to 2. The leg is 1, the other side is 2. The hypotenuse is square root of 3. Square root of 3 is nowhere near equal to 3. Square root of 3 is 1.73. How do you remember that? I had to do that so many fucking times that I will never forget the square root of certain numbers to 2 decimal places. See, pi was 1.1412 something. tell me, just use 22 divided by 7. That's the same thing as pi. It's not. It's damn sure not. It'll get you the 2 decimal places, which is accurate enough in most scholastic endeavors. But if you need a circle with a high degree of eccentricity, you need like something that's a tight fit, you better be using pi. Anyway, shorter distance. Hypotenuse shorter than both legs. Why am I saying this? I save energy for my sprint in the form of X amount of joules. I probably save 500 joules or something like that, which by just cutting across. I also saved maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Time. Time is the same as distance. Woody Allen line. I don't want to ask the guy what time it is and he tells me 2 miles. However that stick went. This will be a short day. There will be 1 lap. There will be one jog, 4 laps of sprints, 1 more jog, and then my ass is out of here. It is impossible for me on cross training day to do anything less than 5 miles because it takes me 4 miles just to get here. The walk is always going to take at least an hour. So you're already locked in at least 3 miles. Then you do your sprinting, and then you walk back home. If I drove, these workouts would probably be about 30 minutes. Because I walk, they take about 2 hours. Especially on the grueling 10 lap days. Which I do like to do in the summer. It's not to carry my water pack anymore. I learned to hydrate. Probably should carry my water pack though because I do about 8 miles on the long days. 8 miles in the heat. That shocked me when I was doing the calculations and I was like, oh shit, I do 8 miles. Well, Wednesdays are the worst. If I lived across the street, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind these days. But then I start hating my, I was like, we gotta go to Bachman? Oh man, that's 7 miles. I'd have to walk to Bachman, which would be about 4 miles from here. Run around it and then come back. I'm sorry, that would be 8 miles, wouldn't it? So, it's all relative. But you know what, if I lived here, I probably wouldn't be going to Bachman. I'd probably walk and go around it a couple of times. And I would adapt to my surroundings. I might one day just leave my house, run around here, do a TJ mile, go up to North Haven, run around North Haven, and then come back. If I lived here, there'd be 2 or, in fact, I'd probably go around that park over there. If I lived here, that'd be cool. They'd call it the trifecta or whatever. It would be me doing laps around the park structures and then coming back home. That'd be kind of exciting. I didn't even stretch today. If I had nothing but time to work out, I bring back Saturday, but I do bikes on Saturday. For my pre and post workout, maybe I start jumping rope. Switch it up, do an obstacle course. I don't know if I would ever do arm workouts like curls and tricep kickbacks. Maybe I start doing calves. I tried the plyometric jump boxes. And the media's to blame for it. It's like, how did Gerard Butler get cut for that movie? He starts beating on rubber tires with a hammer and jumping on boxes and shit. So the guy starts doing it too. Not realizing that kind of workout takes like 4 hours a day. And the reason it takes 4 hours is because they had a compressed amount of time to get him jacked for the role. The sad thing is I work out 4 hours a day sometimes, and I still look like this. But if I was doing it for aesthetics and not for functionality, then I could probably get pretty jacked. What was the ROTC guy? Guess he's got to get ready for, maybe he's going to college. But I did a very bad thing this week. I started eating my mother's cooking. Don't worry, not a lot of it. She makes such good food, but it's so bad for me. She made gravy smothered pork chops with mashed potatoes and corn. Yesterday was fried chicken, green beans, and potatoes. And what was the third thing she made? I ate that too. It was oh, sweet potatoes. And I had 2 pieces of chicken, and I apologize for nothing. thing was, I didn't have the full meal. I just had a spoonful of mashed potatoes. She used the boneless pork chops. So it was like a little pork cutlet. And I put a little gravy over the top of it. More of a sample than anything. Just my luck, somebody would do the calculation. Yeah, that was 500 calories. It's like, okay. Probably was. It's probably 350 to 450 calories. And after I'm done, I'm going to have my vegetable soup with a pack of crackers. Big giant pack of crackers. And I eat my oatmeal after that. Probably get 2,000 calories easily. My body is like, hey, thank you. I was like, well, thank you for what? I was like, you're going to gain weight. He's like, no, I can use this. Then I look at myself in the mirror. I always think I'm fat. And I look at myself on camera. And I'm like, man, who is that lean motherfucker? That's you, ass idiot. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I lost too much weight. I look like the dude, I look like the dudes from Africa and Ethiopia. I think about that time I got down to 169. And I was like, holy. I was reading about the people who have loose skin. And they say on average they lose about 7 to 10 pounds. So I'm actually carrying like 7 to 10 pounds of this extra skin and fat. There's extra fat cells that I grew over the years. So I was actually 159. You know, the body calculations were for a 159 pound guy. Well below my weight. Supposed to be like 165. That's when people started telling me, don't lose no more weight. You know, they're the people who said I was normally healthy, and they said, don't lose no more weight. And I was like, okay, we won't be doing that. What do you think his story is? I don't know. I think I only see him during the summer, though. And then it gets colder, and then I don't see the people as much. I guess there's a group of people that watch these videos. Sorry about the talking. I can guarantee you though, you will never see me putting the camera up to my face, and you will never have to look at my ugly face talking to you. I hate it when guys do that. I was like, just tell me what you gotta tell me. I don't need to see a close-up of you. Hearing her neck beard go off for 25 minutes about why he thinks Darkwing Duck was a great reboot or something. And I realize it's 27 minutes too damn long. You know, this guy's getting paid to be this annoying, ugly guy that sits up there and tells me all this stuff about, you know, his childhood. You'll be glad to know I don't get paid at all for doing this. Nor should I ever. If I make money off of this, the world has gone horribly wrong. These are terrible videos. I purposely made them terrible videos. Because I'm lazy. Ah, come on, baby. I purposely made them that way. I purposely made them this way because if something happens, I got it on camera. And I said, yeah, might as well post them up on YouTube. People don't believe me when I tell them this happened or that happened. And I'm just too lazy to edit these. If I had to do a highlight reel, I'd probably have 100 videos 5 minutes long. Instead, I've got 1,000 videos that are an hour long apiece. Of me walking around with a jittery camera mumbling to myself. At first about how I thought life was just so unfair, and now I'm just jaded. Just there's, I wish everyone would just die. What the reality is. It is what it is. Becomes my default setting. That's when you just give it up, when you say it is what it is. Because I can't fix the world when there are people who make $250,000 and above who don't want it fixed. Howdy. Good for it. Okay, tax dollars at work. I don't care about the space station because it's not fulfilling the purpose I wanted to fulfill. It's just drifting up there. It's not a way station for people to go out. I need the space station to be more than just to be a floating laboratory. I need it to be a gas station, construction yard, and a junction point. I need people leaving Earth. I don't need people floating around it. excited just for the little nibble he gets. Why take that away from him? He watches Nova with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he thinks how far we've come. He still believes. Poor bastard. But no, this video will not contain the space station. Just the guys looking at it. I couldn't care less. Now, if he tells me there's going to be a launch of a warp vehicle, I'll look at that. I'll be like, wow, wait, we've got warp drive now? Yeah, we've been at it for about 6 months now. And I watch that thing just rubber band into the unknown stratus. That'd be cool. Yeah, they're going to Mars in 30 minutes. Cool. We'll never have warp drive. Because nobody wants to pay $1 billion for a jump. So. Hell, probably more than that. It's $1 trillion every time they use that thing. You know how much XYZ stock I could buy with that and make this much money that'll just sit in a pile somewhere in a vault that I'll never use? That's what the idiotic money guys will say. I can make more useless piles of money. Oh, the funny thing is that guy is about the age. For all I know, that's Mike from Stranger Things. Seriously, that was Mike L and the gang. What the there? Sitting there watching, I was like, why'd they leave Hawkins? No jobs in Hawkins, so they had to come to Dallas, Texas. Seriously, that's why I would go. They'd be living in Houston, Texas or something. Mike got a job as a programmer. Married Elle, and she decided she would sit around the house for a while. She became a realtor or something. They had a couple of kids. Only one of them had her psychic abilities. Wow, there's a lot of activity right here today. This is how a comic book starts though, right? If you were outside looking at the space station, a flashlight came off of it, and everybody who was looking up at the sky got a dose of cosmic radiation. They gave them special powers. Or, in the horrific universe, anybody who was outside got exposed to the space zombie radiation. So we become these photosensitive cannibals. they can see without a telescope. And then here I am with my local light source causing light pollution. In fact, if they really wanted to see it, they should have went up north to like Shaxky, Sashki, or Crum. Whatever. They're looking up there with naked eyes thinking they could see the thing. So how can you see the thing without a telescope and with all the light pollution? Huh?
I don't think you can. I think you gotta have a telescope.
Plus you got the light pollution around here.
Yeah.
So.
I got a text message that says see the station, and it tells you when it's going to show up.
Okay, yeah, you would need a telescope, and it'd been better off if you went to like Satchki or Crum where there's. Yeah. Okay. It is traveling at what, 50,000 miles per hour? That's so slow in a cosmic scale, though. Like if you're not going at least 1,000,000 miles a second. Hey, what is it? 300,000 kilometers per second. Yeah, that's the speed of light. Okay, if you're not going at least 100,000 miles per second, that's a little over 50% of the speed of light. No, you can't get that fast, can you? Nope. Try to even go the tenth of the speed of light. The amount of energy required is so massive because you're so massive. Got to get over that great mass barrier. Is there a way to get around it? Yeah, you could. If you can find a way to phase yourself out, in other words, you can make yourself a weakly interacting particle, you can probably go really close to the speed of light. We don't have that tech yet where we can vibrate ourselves or whatever it takes to make us phase out of interaction with normal matter. It's all that quantum foam you got to rub up against. It causes resistance. So you need an infinite amount of energy to overcome it. Because you're literally trying to ram your head through a brick wall. The brick wall being hyper-accelerated quantum foam. So, there's that. I thought I had more time on the clock, on the, every time I walk on this sidewalk, I keep thinking about old Megan. Yeah, I had crushes. That was when I realized I had a weakness for goth chicks. Like, you have a weakness for any chick. Not true. I really don't like blonde. I don't like bleached. I don't like bleached blonde tan bimbos. I really don't. That makes my skin crawl. Look like I said, they all look like bacon to me. They're overcooked and I love bear skin. I love medieval portraits of the red-headed girl with the dang near alabaster skin. It's just something I don't get for the culture. It's like in Asian cultures, they try to find ways to lighten. The Asian and Latin American cultures, they try to find a way to lighten up their skin. In this culture, they're trying to find ways to cook it like they make it look like a turkey or something. Smoked turkey. Oh my God! I made that comment and made Diane laugh. She thought that was hilarious. I said smoked turkey. I said I thought that was a white boy who wandered in the hood and said the wrong thing. And she just bust out laughing when I said that. My cousin was Atlas. My cousins are Atlas. Propping up a world that probably ain't worth propping up. Don't be Atlas. It's a thankless job. I'm not saying that because of some Ayn Rand stuff. Like I said, I couldn't get past the first 50 pages of Shrug. Is that gate open? I think it is, but let's just keep going until we hit the open part over here. I can't even remember where I came in. Anyway, that was a pointless conversation I just had back there. I was like, they're looking up at the sky. Well, the phone tells me this. I was like, you really want to watch this stuff, man? You need country and a telescope. They thought they'd come out here, but then here I am with my big lion LED lamp, just ruining it for him. Such a bastard. Why is that air conditioner running? And yes, I'm paying for that. Is someone actually in there? Maybe. This will be interesting. Did this whole endeavor take an hour? Well, no, because I must have had about 45 minutes left on this battery. I miss Keith Jackson. Battery. A battery with battery. Anyway, had about 45 minutes left on this battery, and I probably got about 90 minutes left on this one. But I did not want to be doing a lot of sprints today. So instead of doing 6 and going around the thing, I just decided to do 4 and run around the little track there. You know, in 2 weeks I'll go back to doing my regular thing. Run around the school, do 6, run back around the school, walk back home. Just warming up for this takes me 6 miles. The actual sprints alone are only about 2. Okay, well, there's 10 laps in a quarter mile, so 250, 2.5 miles. Is that right? Yep. So you do 8.5 miles. Yep. But because I'm running, it only takes about 2 hours. As opposed to 3 hours when I'm walking it the whole way. 8 miles. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit much. But the only reason I do 10 is because it didn't seem to make sense to do 18. I could do 9, and I'd get 1,800 yards. 1,800 yards is just 40 yards over the 1,760 yards it takes to make a mile. A mile worth of fast running. So then part of me just said, well, if you're going to do mine, might as well do 10. So then you're doing 2,000 yards. Now I'm doing, I spread half of it, which is about 50 or 60 yards, and then I coast and jog to do the rest. If I want to do like wide receivers and safeties have to do it, wide receivers and secondary people have to do it, then yeah, I'd be running the whole 120. Or I'd be, sprinting the whole 120. And that's a whole nother calculation. Doing 100-meter sprints instead of 60-meter sprints or 50-meter sprints. That light knocked that, didn't it? Now, my 8 miles kind of became 8.5 to 9 miles because we keep changing where they leave the gate open. So I'm having to walk extra. Anyway, it all adds up after a while. If you're a pretty active person, your walking mileage adds up to about 10 miles a day. People work in fast food restaurants probably adds up to about 5 to 8 miles a day. That's not counting those who have to catch the bus. Their load's a lot more because you have to walk to all the different stops. No one's going to drop you off right at the McDonald's that you work at. They're going to drop you off about a couple blocks before that, then you walk to the McDonald's. Or if you had to get a couple of transfers, you can only afford a house out in Fort Worth. So you got the house in Fort Worth. You take the TRE over to some location to the hub over here in Dallas, and then you take a couple of buses to your destination. Then yeah, you're probably going to be walking a little bit more. And the whole trip, round trip, is probably takes you 8 hours a day. So 8 hours a day, then maybe you work an 8 or a 12. So it's 20 hours, and then maybe you get enough time to get back home, get you a little sleep before you have to start over again. You do this for about 6 to 7 days a week. And that's what Republicans call noble. That's what they call pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Now that's just the one job. Sometimes I get people that work 2 or 3 jobs. On the days when they're not working at McDonald's, they're working 2 other jobs somewhere else hustling. Hard work builds character. No, it doesn't. Hard work builds calluses. Cattle start feels nothing. Like I said, all the guys who come up with these stupid bumper sticker slogans aren't actually doing the work. As if Paul Ryan was flipping burgers in the 80s. That was a job he could walk away from when he was a teenager. Not a job you can walk away from now as a grown man taking care of 2 kids. Anyway. You put in some miles. See? It's always about money. $1,500 in the car. The month before that, it was $750 to get the trees trimmed. Before that, it was $1,500 to get the electrical panel fixed after the storms. Before that, I think someone had a sob story. Every month it's been $1,000, and I never get caught up. In the meantime, I'm sitting there looking at the solar panels because I was like, well, she said, well, I don't ever want to be without power like that again. Look into a generator. I said, to run all these refrigerators and everything else you got here, it was a $10,000 generator. We can't just get a little portable one? Not that'll run a refrigerator. So I'll let her figure that part out. I did the research and I found out what it would take, and I am, and I get it. I get it. I started looking at the kilowatt hour that we've been consuming. I was like, I get it now. 4 refrigerators, a freezer, two regular refrigerators, and a little mini refrigerator. $3,000 a year to run those things. $3,000 to run refrigerators. I don't need that. It's weird. It's weird to pay for things that you'll never use. It's annoying. And that's why you walk, to kind of dilute that anger. And I'm paying for Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. And there won't be anything for me when all that stuff comes about. It could be worse though. I could be paying property taxes. That's That's an extra middle finger from Uncle Sam. Or I guess in this case, Uncle Sam's kids, the states and local. For a while I wasn't paying sales tax, and then all of a sudden I guess they whined and they bitched. So now when I buy something online, I'm paying sales tax. For schools I never attended, for kids I'll never have, for hotels that I'll never sleep in. For a stadium that I'll never watch a game in. You see, that's what's wrong with America right now, is that I'm paying for a lot of stuff that people who make $250,000 and more get to use. I'm paying for that space station and it's not doing anything for me. You know, like they were talking about subsidizing solar panels for people looking to sell houses for overinflated prices. The people getting the solar panels are not the people that need them. Jaded? Yeah. It's not like I get like this every once in a while. I'm like this all the time now. You know, I try to think of the silliness of everything and it makes me laugh. Something refreshing about nihilism. And that's the number one complaint that the number one complaint of the people who are detached from the reality of what's going on the ground are the people who complain about the people who are trying to delve into escapist fantasy. All he does is sit there and play video games and get on the internet because he has nothing in this dreary world to look forward to. Like I said, you grab and complain that they don't want to, they're not active in all this stuff when you keep them from being active. Your idea of active is they pick up a phone, they volunteer, and they work toward your purpose, not their purpose, not our purpose, just your purpose. You who are just trying to build more piles of money. Actually, I guess the piles aren't, they aren't really piles anymore. They're just numbers on a computer screen. Unless you got gold. Then it's just a bunch of space metal that's sitting in a vault somewhere. It's not being put to use in electronics. It's not being used in experiments. It's doing nothing but sitting in a vault with virtual numbers that speculate about it. Virtual numbers, sometimes they go up, they go down, but the way you play the game is if you have more of the virtual numbers, people think you're some kind of genius in this world. You can't actually do anything with the gold, but you were smart enough to buy a bunch of it and let it sit in the vault somewhere. You are in no way going to innovate anything useful with the gold. You're going to use it to buy a $250,000 Aston Martin and sit in traffic. $500,000, excuse me, a $5 million house with an air conditioning unit just for your golf carts in a garage that you use maybe once a month. Somebody's in there. Why does that shock you? Well, it's just city lights. Yeah, that house was already sold when they were building it. You know, I actually missed a sprinkler for a change. I didn't do much, and yet I'm sweaty still. Excuse me, my version of not doing much. Alright, my version of doing much, not doing much. There's other people's versions of, man, that was a tough workout. When I first started, I would run around the track. I'd do like 10 of the sprints, go around the track, and then I'd come home and I'd be bushed. I just did it just now and I feel mildly annoyed. Not because of the workout, but because it didn't diffuse the anger that the workout normally diffuses. You see a guy working out like crazy, he's pissed off about something. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger fueling those muscles. It's like The Rock must be the angriest man on earth. He must be. Mr. Olympia must be the angriest guy. Yes, there's a lot of anger in the Mr. Olympia. People think it's the steroids that make them angry. It's like, no, the steroids just kind of fuel the anger that's already there. Because we're talking about doing something painful for hours on end. Steroids have nothing to do with that. That's a mind that is fueled by masochism. Your whole life is pain, so you just do more pain to dull out the other pain that you're already getting. It's like compound pain interest. That's why I did it. That's why hell seems like a vacation spot to me. It's more pain. It's what I'm used to. Pleasure makes me feel weird. Man, a lot of people cutting down trees. So the city will be busy, yes. I ain't got to my stuff yet. It's been we're now 2 weeks into when they're supposed to do the pickup. They were supposed to get it last week. Was it last week? Yeah. That's right, because I had to go to work on Thursday. That was kind of the cool thing this year. I got one break, and that was I took my birthday off, and then a week later, the 4th of July also fell on a Thursday, so it was like having a little 2-week mini vacation. And yet I worked out. Yeah, I know. Gotta stop doing that. There are no desserts to eat, so I guess I'll just have, I'll add some molasses to my peanut butter and oatmeal. Probably is a cocktail you can add molasses to. All I know is one time I added cocoa powder, yogurt, and molasses. Oh my god, that was heaven. You get you some Greek yogurt, you get a spoonful of molasses and a spoonful of cocoa powder. That's living, my friend. Now, if you didn't want it for health benefits, you just want to be decadent. Wait, I mean, it's already decadent. It's got, you know, it's kind of decadent because it's still the sweet. You still get your calories from the yogurt, and then you've got your calories from the spoonful of molasses. And I guess technically molasses is still a processed. It's still a processed food. In fact, molasses is processed food waste. I mean, it literally is. It's tar. It's sugar tar. Like, if you think about the crude oil refining process, sugar's not all that much different. You get your gasoline and your sugar alcohols, and you're getting the very pure stuff out of it. And then the leftovers are the cellulose and the burnt cellulose and other byproducts that just kind of wash out to the bottom and turn into this sticky bittersweet liquid, molasses. And for a long time, people were just taking molasses, that byproduct, and making rum out of it. And then they start mixing it with other things. You put it with beans and a little pork, and you got something special. You got a mighty fine meal. You mix it in cookie dough and cakes, and you got something else. You got a great dessert. And you don't need a lot of molasses. By itself, it's pretty harsh stuff, but when you mix it with something, it's a great multiplier. I love molasses. It's just too much of it, I get heartburn. But if I had a comfort food I could probably eat every day or every other day, it would be pork and beans with molasses. I'd have pork and bean, molasses, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I don't really miss peanut butter and jelly sandwiches though. I have not had one this year. Something to think about though. I don't need bread. I guess they'll make peanut butter and jelly tortillas. Or peanut butter and jelly burritos. I told somebody about that, he just looked at me. I was like, don't knock it till you tried it, man. The gooiness of the wheat tortilla and the I don't know if you could do it with a corn tortilla. I don't think corn goes well with peanut butter. I could be wrong. There might be some guy that sits there and fries it up with banana or something, and you could make a peanut butter and banana fry a tortilla taco, and that'd be pretty good. Or fry a tortilla burrito or something, or taquito. That might actually be pretty good. Get your corn tortilla. You mash up a little banana and some peanut butter, and you mix it together. Maybe put some molasses in that. Mix it up. Take that paste, put it inside, roll it up, toss it in a deep fat fryer. Add some powdered sugar over the top of it or something. I don't know. Just leave it alone. And you got an interesting dessert. Like a peanut butter and banana flauta or something. Would you make such a monstrosity? I would. Like I said, my invention was going to be stuffed French fries. I think someone's already made that, but I was going to take like mashed potatoes and wrap them in ham and cheese. Or excuse me, I was going to take it the other way around. I was going to take like a potato starch or something, and a potato starch or mashed potato or something, and roll that, and take the ham and the cheese, put it together, and then you roll it around in the corn stuff, and then you fry it. Or not corn stuff, the potato stuff, and then fry it. And it'd have been like a stuffed French fry. Mozzarella and pepperoni would have been another one. A lot of assholes out here tonight.